Every area in Dark Souls 3 explained in 10 seconds. The Cemetery of Ash. You wake up in a graveyard like you just respawned from a terrible party, and the game immediately introduces itself with a giant knight who turns into a sentient tree tumor halfway through the fight. Ludek's Gundyr Arena. This is where you learn the first rule of Dark Souls. If an enemy looks dead, it's not. If it looks alive, it wants you dead. And if it looks like Gundyr, good luck. The Firelink Shrine. Your hub of sadness. Everyone here is either sitting, sighing, or saying something cryptic that basically means, you're screwed, good luck. But at least Andre's here. The man is somehow immortal and shredded. The High Wall of Lothric. A whole kingdom paused mid-crisis. Hollows wander around confused, knights try to kill you with maximum enthusiasm, and a dragon is definitely violating at least 10 noise laws. Tower on the Wall. One narrow staircase, one angry knight, and one lesson. Stairs are the real boss of Dark Souls. Vort's Bridge. You walk out onto a pretty bridge, then Vort, the world's angriest refrigerated dog, slams into you like a hockey player at full speed. The Undead Settlement. A peaceful countryside village where all the villagers unanimously agree you need to die. There are giant firing squads, screaming hollows, and a man with a cleaver who looks like he eats adventurers for protein. The Cliff Underside. A wooden ladder, 100 torches, and a crowd of undead waiting to greet you like Black Friday shoppers. The Pit of Hollows. A cozy sacrificial pit run by the Mound Makers, who specialise in PvP, chaos, and questionable life choices. The Road of Sacrifices. This forest is full of bird people who dive bomb you with all the subtlety of seagulls attacking a tourist with fries. The Halfway Fortress. 2 NPCs sit peacefully around a bonfire, watching you get jumped by every creature within a mile radius. The Crucifixion Woods. A swampy horror zone full of giant crabs and mages who shoot spells from half a football field away because they hate your fun. The Ruined Watchtower. A quiet tower housing a single very large man who hits you once and sends you back to the bonfire like you never existed. Farron Keep. The swamp to end all swamps. Poison everywhere, mosquitoes, slugs. It's like the developers wanted you to feel physically sticky. The Farron Keep Perimeter. A tranquil-looking forest until you realise the giant wolves stalking you are smarter, faster, and probably better educated. The Keep Ruins. A collapsed fortress guarded by 2 hyper-aggressive sword bros who chase you like they drank bold Red Bulls. The Cathedral of the Deep. A huge religious building full of monstrous worshippers who have clearly mistaken faith for throwing corpses and goo at strangers. The Cleansing Chapel. A safe room surrounded by enemies who are definitely planning something the second you step outside. The Cathedral Graveyard. A peaceful cemetery except every enemy is a pile of giant blood-sucking maggots. Great ambiance. The Catacombs of Karthus. Skulls rot, skeletons reassemble, and every hallway is a booby trap designed to embarrass you in front of yourself. The Demon Ruins. A fiery retirement home for demons who still hit like they're in their 20s. The Old King's Antechamber. A cramped room full of pyromancers who think the best use of fire magic is spamming fireballs at walls and you. The Smouldering Lake. A volcanic nightmare with a giant ballista firing bolts at you like it's trying to win a long-distance sniping contest. Also, crab monsters the size of cars. Irithyll of the Boreal Valley. A beautiful snow-lit dream city until demon dogs, ice knights, and a ghost wolf chase you down in the opening 5 seconds. The Water Reserve. a dark room containing one giant spider lady who was absolutely not mentioned in the travel brochure. The Irithyll Dungeon, a prison where the jailers reduce your max health simply by looking at you, which is a horrifying power I think many parents wish they had. The Profaned Capital, a ruined mouldy maze filled with toxic sludge and a giant king whose entire combat plan is grab player, crush, repeat. Anor Londo. Yes, it's back, but now with more dust, more moonlight, and a boss fight where your opponent is basically evil spaghetti wielding a magic bow. The Darkmoon Tomb, a quiet hidden room where half of Dark Souls 1's backstory comes to depress you in 30 seconds flat. Lothric Castle, the kingdom's last stand, dragons perched on roofs, knights everywhere, and a very weird doomed but still fabulous aesthetic. The Dragon Barracks. You sprint past dragons shooting flames at everything because fighting them is optional, and optional means don't do it. The Grand Archives, a haunting library where scholars fling spells, bookshelves slap you, an entire building smells like damp graduate students. The Elevator Hall, a giant elevator whose main function is tossing players off its edges for comedy value. The Consumed King's Garden, a disgusting overgrown swamp guarded by a mutant king who looks like he went too far with DIY parenting. The Untended Graves, Firelink Shrine's dark emo twin, same layout but now it's night and everything wants you even more dead than usual. The Kiln of the First Flame, a vast ash desert where the final boss parries your soul before you choose which ending disappoints the world the least. The Archdragon Peak, a secret mountaintop where monks turn into lightning snakes and giant dragons drop down like welcome to the actual game. The Dragonkin Mausoleum, a hallway of infinite PvP nightmare. The architect definitely hated people here. The Great Belfry, ring a giant bell to summon a dragon who immediately regrets showing up. And there you have it, every single area in Dark Souls 3 explained with the perfect balance of truth, chaos and swamp trauma. If you enjoyed this tour of misery, magic and questionable medieval infrastructure, make sure to hit the like and subscribe, and let me know which area made you uninstall the fastest. And remember, if life gets too hard, at least you're not stuck in Farron Keep. Thanks for watching Ashen One. Now go link the fire, or don't. I don't judge.